Angel Reese just got a wake-up call. ESPN's latest WNBA rankings are out, and guess what? She's not in the top 10. Meanwhile, CaitlinClark sits comfortably at number 2. The internet is on fire with reactions. Is this ranking legit? Or is Reese getting disrespected? Let's break it down. The latest ESPN WNBA Fantasy Rankings for 2025 have sparked intense debates among basketball fans, analysts, and even players. CaitlinClark secured the number 2 spot, solidifying her growing reputation as one of the most electrifying players in the game.
We did go off of how much winning Caitlin was doing, how she was contributing to winning, and then going off the viewership and all that. Oh yeah, for sure. I think Caitlin should have won.
However, the biggest controversy arose when Angel Reese, a dominant force on the court, was left out of the top 10, landing at number 12 instead. This decision did not sit well with Reese, who took to social media to express her disappointment, and it has since ignited widespread discussions about media bias, player valuations, and the overall criteria for such rankings. The ESPN rankings, which are based on projected fantasy basketball value, have often been a topic of debate. While they primarily focus on statistical contributions that translate to fantasy points, such as scoring, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, many argue that they fail to capture the complete impact of a player's presence on the court. A'ja Wilson, widely regarded as the best player in the league, topped the rankings, followed by CaitlinClark, who has quickly become a household name due to her prolific scoring and elite playmaking ability. Despite these reasonable placements, the glaring omission of Angel Reese from the top 10 raised eyebrows across the basketball community. Angel Reese has never been one to shy away from speaking her mind. When the rankings were released, she wasted no time in making her thoughts known. While she didn't directly attack ESPN, her posts were filled with a sense of frustration and a desire to prove people wrong. Reese has built a reputation on resilience, work ethic, and an unrelenting drive to be the best, so being left out of the top 10 was not something she would simply accept without a fight. Her fans quickly rallied behind her, flooding social media with posts arguing that she had been unfairly snubbed. One of the main arguments in Reese's favor is her dominance on the glass. She is one of the most effective rebounders in the league, consistently pulling down double-digit boards and creating second-chance opportunities for her team. Rebounding is a crucial aspect of basketball, often overlooked in fantasy rankings that tend to favor scoring over other contributions. Reese's defensive presence also cannot be ignored. Her ability to contest shots, disrupt passing lanes, and bring toughness to the paint makes her an invaluable asset to any team. Yet, despite these qualities, ESPN ranked several players above her who may not have the same defensive prowess or rebounding efficiency. Meanwhile, CaitlinClark's second-place ranking was met with both applause and scrutiny. Clark has been putting up historic numbers since entering the WNBA, lighting up the scoreboard with her deep three-pointers, precision passing, and court vision that few can match. Her offensive explosion has undoubtedly made her one of the most exciting players to watch, and fantasy basketball metrics reward high-scoring players heavily. While many agreed that Clark deserved a high ranking, others questioned whether she should be placed so far ahead of players like Reese, who provide a different but equally valuable skill set. CaitlinClark isn't just ranked high, she's shattering records. She's out here dropping triple-doubles, breaking 62 records, and redefining what it means to be a superstar. Meanwhile, Angel Reese? Solid rebound numbers, sure. But let's be real. She's struggling with efficiency, shooting, and impact. The debate over these rankings also touches on a larger issue: how women's basketball players are evaluated. Historically, the media and analysts have often prioritized scoring above all else, leading to situations where players like Reese, who excel in defense, rebounding, and hustle plays, are undervalued. This reflects a broader conversation about the biases present in basketball analysis and how they impact players' legacies and opportunities. Reese's situation is reminiscent of many other great defensive and rebounding players in both the men's and women's games, who were often overlooked because their impact didn't always translate to highlight reels or fantasy point totals. As the discussion grew, analysts and former players weighed in on the controversy. Some defended ESPN's rankings, arguing that fantasy basketball is its own category.
But I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here.
And does not necessarily reflect a player's overall value to a team. Since fantasy points are heavily driven by individual offensive statistics, players like Clark naturally rank higher due to their ability to score in bunches. However, others criticize the rankings as another example of mainstream sports media underappreciating the full spectrum of basketball talent.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skills. She has energy, she has an attitude, she'll rebound you the basketball. Great.
Despite the rankings, both players remain focused on their ultimate goals, winning games and proving their worth on the court. For Reese, this snub is just another challenge to overcome. She has built her career on defying expectations and proving doubters wrong, and this will likely be no different. Expect to see an even more motivated Angel Reese this season, ready to show why she belongs among the elite. As for Clark, she will continue to embrace the pressure that comes with her ranking and look to solidify her place as one of the faces of the WNBA. The impact of this controversy extends beyond just two players. It highlights a growing conversation about how we evaluate greatness in women's basketball and whether traditional metrics are enough to capture the true essence of what makes a player valuable. While fantasy rankings serve a specific purpose, they also influence public perception and shape narratives that can affect a player's career in tangible ways, from endorsements to all-star selections. As the season progresses, all eyes will be on Angel Reese and CaitlinClark to see how they respond to the rankings. Will Reese use this as fuel to dominate on the boards and make an undeniable case for her spot among the league's best? Will Clark continue her offensive brilliance and silence any remaining skeptics? One thing is for sure, the drama surrounding these rankings has only added more excitement to an already thrilling WNBA season. And whether you agree with ESPN or not, this debate has once again shown the passion and dedication of women's basketball fans who continue to push for fair recognition of all players' talents and contributions. At the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. CaitlinClark is the future. Angel Reese? She's got a lot to prove. But what do you think? Did ESPN get it right? Or is this total disrespect? Let us know in the comments. No matter where you stand on this debate, one thing is clear. The WNBA is in the midst of an exciting era, with rising stars like Clark and Reese shaping the league's future. Their rivalry, their performances, and their drive to be great will continue to push the sport forward. So whether you're a die-hard fan of one player or simply love the game, buckle up, because this season is going to be one for the books.